Aimee Nolte music. I get a lot of letters from people asking me about hand independence and how to get it. One of the ways that I've figured out for myself over the years is to come up with ways to make your hands be able to be on autopilot. You can kind of see in these exercises how this might be accomplished. The first thing I do is to play all of my major scales, starting with my right hand on the 3rd degree and my left hand on the 1st degree, so that we have this, and it sounds nice. The next exercise I did does not sound so nice, but what it does is it gives your right hand a little bit of a head start, doesn't it? It starts it on the 3rd instead of on the thumb, and as you go, and it becomes harder as you go into the other keys. You learn to put one of your hands at least on autopilot and think about the other one. And as you practice more and more, pretty soon you can have both hands on autopilot. Autopilot's not a great idea in jazz for a lot of reasons, because it might take away your creativity, it might take away your will to play something beautiful, or your ability to play something beautiful, but it's also helpful in a lot of ways too. If you don't have to think about independence between your two hands because it's something that you're very comfortable with, your playing can become a lot more free. So, it's kind of a fine line to walk, a delicate balance. Now, so the first one I showed you, right? We've got the 3rd degree and the 1st degree, all 12 keys. The second one is to actually play in 2 different keys, your major scales. This one is where it gets a little tricky, and also I recommend it on a day when you might feel particularly angsty, because it's a very aggressive kind of sound, and maybe you need to get that out sometimes, you never know. Anyway, what I recommend is thinking hard about the hand that you are less comfortable with. So when I just played in D with my right hand and D flat with my left hand, I'm actually less comfortable with the D flat in my left hand. So I was thinking hard about D flat, not thinking so hard about D. And then you'll do a switch, and then your right hand will have E flat, and then maybe that's the hard one for you to think about, so you don't think about D so much. But I'll tell you what, it's gonna hurt you a little bit. I'm sorry. It may very well hurt your brain, and you might have to get up and take some breaks. But when we're talking about, approaching Afro-Cuban rhythms, or playing solo samba on the piano, or even just comping with your left hand and soloing with your right hand, you've got to have somewhere to start. And I think this is a really good basic level. If you know your major scales and you don't mind a little bit of pain, you can do this. So today becomes the start of a new series or playlist on my channel about independence between hands for piano players. Give yourself an extra added bonus. I don't know why anyone would do this. I don't know why I do this. But you try to sing as you play. So you could be playing your C major scale with your left hand and your D flat major scale with your right hand, and you sing along with one of them. See if you're in tune. And then you do the other one. That one's easier. It's harder to sing what your left hand is doing. I love to give myself extra hard challenges and think about what's not normal, and what might just push the boundaries a little bit, and what might get my head in a different place, to help me be more creative and to find things that I wouldn't have found otherwise. And I think this one is a good first step in doing that. And in fact, a long time ago, I stopped practicing my major scales like a normal, healthy person would, and started practicing them this way because it gave me something extra to do. So you gauge where you're at. Maybe you're not here yet and you need to just practice your major scales. Maybe the first thing where you start on the 3rd degree and the 1st degree, maybe that would be helpful. You're gonna have to see. But push yourself a little bit. Don't get too comfortable. Let's get some independence between these hands. And I'll see you next time on Aimee Nolte Music.